If you've listened to past podcast episodes on Social Security, you're probably well aware that many people should wait at least until their full retirement to start collecting Social Security, which is between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born. And for many people, they also should even wait to collect beyond that until age 70.
Are you ready for a successful retirement? We're addressing the topics facing today's retirees. Welcome to Retire with Ryan. Now here's your host, Ryan Morrissey.
Welcome back. This week, I'm addressing 5 benefits of working past age 65. Many times when people are thinking about retirement, you're thinking of retiring at 65. For many, that's kind of the magical number because at age 65, you're now eligible for Medicare. It used to be that age 65 was also the full retirement age for Social Security, but that has actually been increased to 66 to 67. So I want to talk about some benefits of working past 65, why it can make sense for some listeners to do that. And benefit number 1 is that it allows you to continue saving towards retirement. If you keep working past 65, it's allowing you to keep saving into your 401k or 403b plan, especially if your employer offers a match on your contributions, then that's allowing you to benefit from that additional match that they offer. And the more time that you're saving, that means the less time you're going to be spending. If you work until, let's say, 70 or even beyond, that's going to shorten the amount of time that you're going to need to live off of your portfolio in retirement. So that could also allow you to potentially have to save less than someone who retires at 60 or 65. So if you've gotten a late start on planning your retirement, by working later, this could help you in a very large way by allowing you to accumulate more, but also by needing less to sustain yourself over your retirement years. If you're eligible for a pension, that could also benefit you too, depending on how your pension works. If you work for the state of Connecticut or for the federal government and you're a participant in the FERS, the Federal Employees Retirement System, the longer you work under those systems, the higher your pension benefit goes. So you'd want to look into that to see how will it help me by working another year or two, or maybe even longer, what will this mean in additional pension benefits for you? Reason number 2 is that this can help you to delay when you begin collecting Social Security. If you've listened to past podcast episodes on Social Security, you're probably well aware that many people should wait at least until their full retirement to start collecting Social Security, which is between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born. And for many people, they also should even wait to collect beyond that until age 70. So the main benefit of doing that is that you earn an additional 8% credit per year for every year that you wait until your full retirement in age 70. So let's just say full retirement for you is age 67 and you wait to collect till age 70, you're getting a 24% increase over your benefits by waiting to collect. Now, I run calculations for people showing them what these numbers look like, not only in current terms, but also over the life expectancy that one would have and how much you could receive from Social Security. And no surprise that for many people, there's a significant benefit by waiting to collect until 70. And if you're married, this is especially important for the higher earning spouse. But mentally, a lot of people have a hard time doing that because you're foregoing income that you could be receiving from Social Security. And even though you're going to get much more than that over your later years in retirement, some people want their money now. Well, by working past your full retirement age for Social Security, it can, I think, help you at least know that you still have income coming in from your job while you're delaying collecting Social Security. Another benefit is that if you don't have 35 years of work history, because Social Security is calculated based off 35 years of work history. So if you were someone who started working later in life, or you took some time off in your middle years of employment, by working longer, that can help to make sure that you have 35 years of work history. Because if you don't, Social Security uses a 0 in those calculations. Also, for many people, when you're starting out in your career, you're not earning a whole lot of income. And later in your career, you're probably at your peak earnings potential or peak earnings history. So by working longer, some of those later years in Social Security terms, you're replacing some lower earning years early in your career with higher earning years, which could also increase what your benefit will look like. Reason number 3 is that this can allow you to continue contributing to an HSA account. I'm a big fan of health savings accounts or HSA accounts, and the reasons being, if you haven't listened to some episodes that I've discussed these, you probably should go back and do that, but they're the only triple tax-free investment account that's currently available. What does triple tax-free mean? That means that you receive a deduction on your contributions, the money grows tax-deferred, and when you take it out, if you use it for health-related costs, it's 100% tax-free to you. So for those reasons, I'm a big fan of funding these accounts, and for many people, you are now eligible because many companies have gone to high deductible health plans, therefore making you eligible for a health savings account. But once you enroll in Medicare, you're no longer eligible to make a contribution to an HSA account. And for many people, they enroll in Medicare when they're eligible, which is age 65. And so by working longer, and not enrolling in Medicare, this can allow you additional years of contributing to your health savings account, getting those benefits to have more that you could take out and use for health-related costs in a tax-free manner. So if you are working past 65, the old advice before health savings accounts, about 10 years ago, was to enroll in Medicare Part A, even if you were covered under your employer's health plan. Because Medicare has 2 components that everyone has to enroll in once they retire. Part A covers hospital stays, and Part B covers preventative care. You pay for Part B, so you want to delay enrolling in that also because you don't want to start paying for that sooner than when you need it. But a lot of people enroll in Part A because it's free and it could save you some money if you end up in the hospital. But once you do that, you are no longer eligible to contribute to a health savings account. So if you are continuing to work past 65 and you are enrolling in Medicare, don't enroll in any part of it until it's absolutely the right thing for you to do. The other thing is that I mentioned before, Part B has a cost. That cost might be more than what you're paying through your employer-sponsored health plan. So if you are working past 65, you want to consult with either a financial advisor or some insurance professional that can look at what you would be paying for Medicare versus what you're paying for your plan through your employer, and you might want to stay in your employer plan. There are certain situations where if you do have a very expensive employer plan, it could save you money by going on Medicare as soon as you're eligible at age 65, but you also lose the ability to contribute to that health savings account. So you have to balance that out. Benefit number 4 of working past 65 is that it can help you pay for your travel. In a lot of people's minds, especially clients that I work with, they're thinking that they're going to take their big trips in retirement, right? If you have your dream is to visit a certain country or go on maybe a very long trip visiting multiple countries or going on a cruise, a lot of times people are waiting until they retire to do that. An alternative to that would be do that trip while you're still working. As long as you have enough vacation days or you maybe even using some unpaid vacation days, this could make sense because if you can pay for this while you're still working, it's less of a hit from your investments, from your retirement portfolio. So it's a good idea to think about doing that, especially while your health is still good. Our health is something that we have no control over sometimes. So if your health is good, you might want to think about doing these trips while you're still working or maybe working a little bit longer so that it can help you pay for these things and it's not as big of a shock to your investments, your retirement portfolio if these trips are expensive. So consider that. Benefit number 5 is that it can keep you young. Many studies have shown that the more active we stay in retirement, the longer that we can be retired, the healthier that we can be. And by continuing to work, it can help you stay active. It can help keep your mind engaged. The more that you challenge yourself mentally, it can keep your brain sharper, and working can be a good way to do that. Now, the flip side is that these studies and articles that you could find just by Googling, how to stay young in your 60s, would tell you that also getting enough rest and cutting back on stress is another thing that can keep you young as well. So if your job is maybe a little too demanding, that your hours are causing you to not rest as much as you should, or just maybe the stress from your job is causing you to lose sleep, or just it's very stressful, then it could be a reason maybe it's time to walk away from that job and maybe finding something else that's more suitable or something that's more part-time. And you also probably know that it does get harder to find another job the older that we get due to a variety of reasons. So you want to really carefully weigh when you're going to retire before, you do. You don't want to think that it's real easy to get a job. And it could be easier now because supposedly we have a shortage in the workforce at the current moment. But historically, it's definitely harder for people to find work, later in their career or change jobs. So before you make that change, it's usually, if you're leaving one job for another, make sure you have that new job lined up at any point in your career. It gives you a lot more leverage with your current job. Hope you found this week's episode helpful. As a reminder, if you're in need of a plan for retirement or you're just looking to find out when you can retire, consider attending my retirement readiness workshops. They're a 2-night class where we cover all you need to know about planning your retirement, and they're taking place in Cheshire and in Middletown. To sign up, you can go to retirewithryan.com, and from there, click on Retirement Workshops. Have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you next Wednesday.
You should consult a financial advisor familiar with your specific circumstances before you make any financial decisions. Nothing in this broadcast constitutes a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Any mention of rates of return are historical or hypothetical in nature and are not a guarantee of future returns. Ryan Morrissey, CFP, is an investment advisor representative of Morrissey Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor.